looking at the screen here, bullet point number 4, game-changing legislation, increasing standards and barriers to entry. So one of the pressures that you mentioned at the beginning was the barriers to entry, low barriers to entry.
Yeah.
So what do we mean about this game-changing legislation?
What we mean is that we're going to see, I think, more legislation coming in to increase standards. And when I'm talking about standards, I'm talking about those things like the worker welfare, health and safety, bribery and corruption, modern slavery, all these things.
So this is not technical standards, this is the sort of environment, the work environment.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen a great deal of progress over the last few years in terms of legislation coming in that regard. And I think that's been necessary because of the media and human rights interests in the region. And that was renewed, I think, by projects like the World Cup in Qatar in 2022 and the Louvre project in Abu Dhabi. They suddenly gained a sort of re-interest of media and human rights group interest. Now, the longer and the more this region wants to be on that global stage, and we know it does, the more pressure is going to come to increase this legislation. We've seen examples of it happening. Minimum wages in Bahrain, worker welfare and funds for workers in Qatar. We've seen not legislation, but the anti-corruption drive in Saudi. And so I'm confident that with that pressure, we're going to see more and more of this legislation coming in.
Is your feeling, Colin, that those changes that Susanna has just outlined, that's because of greater international scrutiny, or is it because workers and suppliers expect it, or what?
Yeah, and I think there's also another level to think about. When things do go drastically wrong, and there are a large number of workers that are left unpaid, and there are some pretty horrific examples that go out. It's ultimately the government that has to step in to sort it out. So it's in the government's interest really to put legislation in place to make sure those people are protected, so they don't have to step in and take care of things. So yeah, I think that's something that will move in the right direction, and in fairness has moved, Susanna said, has moved an awful lot over the last few years and is continuing to move.
And presumably Expo, you didn't mention Expo in your summary, presumably also the scrutiny or the attention that Expo 2020 will bring to the UAE and to Dubai is another factor. Yes,
and every world event that the region wants to host going forward. But I think an important sort of progression from that point of introducing the legislation is that at the moment we've got contractors coming in internationally that are already necessarily complying with these sort of global standards, whereas a huge gulf between those and those sort of local and new entrants to the markets that haven't previously been subject to that. So once there's more legislation, it becomes a more level playing field because all contractors have got to incur those costs.
Okay.